Finally, let's talk about binding to XML directly. WPF does support allowing you to point to an XML document and set up your bindings to point to the values that are contained within XML elements or attributes within that document. In general, I would recommend you avoid using this capability of WPF. From an architecture perspective, you don't really want to couple your UI code to how you're doing data persistence. And XML is really a low-level data persistence mechanism. Leaking that all the way up into the bindings of your view locks you into a persistence mechanism you may not want to stick to in the future. This is kind of the moral equivalent to putting SQL statements in your views, which you also shouldn't be doing, because that locks you into using SQL as your persistence mechanism, and that's something you don't want to do. You want to have logical layers, and you probably want to have a data layer behind the scenes that encapsulates how data persistence is done and just brings it in as entities. But all that being said, you may have some XML documents around that perfectly fit what you want to show on the screen, so the good news is you can do that. What you do is there's an object called an XML data provider, and you can put that in your XAML, point it to a document as a source, and then you use XPath on your data bindings to refine what part of the data context that you set up as the XML data provider that you want to use for display purposes. So you're basically using XPath to reach down into that document, pull out portions of it. You can set those as child data context. For example, you could reach down in and find a collection of elements within the document and set that as the data context for something like a data grid. So let's look at a demo that shows us how to do this.